Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I'll be doing something a little different from gardening. I will be making my favorite easy and tasty spelt bread. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So to begin, I will start with 1 cup of warm water. 1 cup of water, and all I do, I just warm this in the microwave for a minute. I will add that to a large container. And to that I will add me a packet of quick rise instant yeast. Okay, so I will add that to my water. I will give it a stir and allow the yeast to fully dissolve. Okay, so while that is dissolving, I'll keep stirring, and it's almost there, almost to the point of total dissolution. Yeah. So as you can see, that's fully dissolved. Just a few more stir. I will now go in and I will add some honey. And for the honey, you can always substitute this with sugar, whether brown or white sugar. You can also use agave. I am using here a 1/4 cup of honey. Okay, so a 1/4 cup of honey. Okay, and I'll stir that in. Next, I will add 3 tablespoons of, I'm using avocado oil. You can always use vegetable oil such as canola and any other vegetable oil, or you can use butter. But I'm using 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. I'll now add 1½ teaspoon of salt, and I'm using pink Himalayan salt for that. And 1 cup of milk, and I'm using almond milk. You can substitute it with the milk of your choice. Okay, so 1 cup of milk. And I will now continue to give this a mix. Okay. Make sure I get everything from my honey. Okay. And now that the mixture is all ready, I will now start to add my flour, my spelt flour. Just before doing that, I will add, this is 4 cups of spelt flour, and I like to add a bit of fiber just to make it a little healthier. So that's 3 tablespoons of wheat bran, and I will just mix that in. Okay, and with that being mixed in, I will now start to add the flour to my liquid. Okay, and I will add this roughly a cup at a time. Okay, a little at a time, roughly a cup at a time. And then I'll give it a little mix. Okay. And a little more flour. And I'll be adding flour, and what I'm trying to achieve is to get the flour to consistency where I can actually go in and manipulate that with my bare hands. Okay, so I will keep adding my flour until it gets to that point, and I will put away my stick and I will go in with my bare hands and start kneading my dough. And it's getting there, almost there. More flour. And I think it's now at the point where I can now put away my spoon and now go in and manually manipulate this flour. Okay, my partner. So now I will go in and I'll start to knead. Okay, I'll get me a little more flour to get rid of the stickiness. Still a little sticky. Add me the rest of my flour. Yeah, and now I will go in and I'll start to knead. Yes. Yeah, and I'm trying to get a kind of elasticy consistency, and that will happen when actually I will need to add me a little more flour. So now I will continue to knead until I get my desired consistency, and I am almost there, almost there. And I'll get that consistency when the flour no longer stick to the side of the bowl. And yeah. Yes. And now that I've achieved the consistency I'm looking for, I will now knead my dough into a ball, something like this. Okay, and see it's soft and I'm no longer sticking. So this is the perfect consistency I'm looking for. So I will just place my ball in my bowl. And what I will do next, I will cover this with shrink wrap. I will cover my bowl. As you can see, my bowl there, yes, camera isn't that high. My bowl is a little deep. So I will cover my bowl with some shrink wrap or plastic wrap. And after that, I will cover it with my towel. And I'm going to place this in the warmest part of my kitchen. And the warmest part of my kitchen, I think, is my oven. So I'm going to stick that in the oven for approximately an hour. And after an hour, this should double in size. And once that happens, my dough is double in size in roughly an hour, I will go on to step 2. I'll go on to step 2. So after an hour, my dough has now doubled in size. And that's my dough, twice the previous size. So I will now sprinkle to my surface, my clean surface, a bit of flour to prevent sticking of my dough. I will now add the dough to my clean surface. Okay. So that's my dough. Getting everything out. getting my dough out, I will do a bit of make sure to get rid of all the air bubbles in my dough. So I'll just do a little knead just to make sure that all the air bubbles are out. I don't want any bubbles in my bread. Okay. And you can always keep adding flour just to prevent any sticking from happening, so that the dough will be a little easier to manage. Okay. Okay. So I think I've gotten out all my air bubbles. So I'm making 2 doughs. So I will now go ahead and I will cut my dough in 2. Actually, I'll just give it a little bit more knead. And I will cut my ball dough in 2, as I'm making two doughs. Okay, look quite even. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and form my bread to the shape of my pan. So I will just use my finger to spread my dough out like so. I'll use my rolling stick to help me a bit. Just give it a little roll. And that seems good enough for me. So what I will do now, I will go ahead and I'll try to form my bread. Okay, so I'll just go grab me my ends and I'll start rolling and roll. Okay, and as I roll, I shape my bread, and for the ends I can just get them together like this. Just clip all the ends together. Maybe you can see what I'm doing there, and I'm forming my dough. So that's one dough all ready to go. Okay, and I will place my dough in my 9x3 baking tin. Okay, so like that. That's my first dough. Still doing a bit of shaping. Okay, so that's my first dough. I'll now go on to preparing the next one, and I'll continue spreading out my dough. So this is and from here I will go ahead and I'll form my bread. Quite simple, quite easy. And again, I will just pinch it together here, as you can see. Pinch it up together, and I'll form my bread. And I'll now place my second dough in my pre-greased baking tin, which is 9 by 3, roughly 9 by 3. So that's my second loaf, okay? And the next step is I will now cover my tins with my doughs, and I will have this again in a warm place for another 40 minutes, and it should again double in size, okay? And from there it's straight to the oven. So after putting away our dough for 40 minutes to again double in size, we will now take a look and see what has happened. Yes, and this is the result. It has now doubled in size again. So now we're gonna stick them into the oven at 350 degrees, and they're gonna bake for 45 minutes. So now that our bread is ready, yeah, this is what I have the end result, and I'll now remove them from the baking tin. I'll just remove them on the baking tin and put them on, place them on my rack, as I do not want them to start sweating and get soggy. So I will remove them, and I will just brush them with a little butter. And I wish you could smell my kitchen. Yeah, it's that lovely smell of bread all over. Really nice smell. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the end result. And I will now wait 15 minutes before I will cut into these and then slice them. Okay. So this is a bread I have to make weekly at home, as my family have gotten to love this bread so much. Likewise myself, it's spelt flour, and I find it digests really well. So this is a bread that I really like. So once it's cool, in 15 minutes time, I'll cut into it, and then we will see the texture. I will now cut into one of these bread to show you the texture. Okay. And wow, it's so soft, and the outer edge really crusty and nice. I have to get me a decent bread. Yeah, so that's the texture there. Yeah, looking really good. Okay, so that's it. So for this recipe, this bread recipe, you will find the full recipe in the description section of this video. So I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.